Hi, and welcome back to another monthly market update from the Columbus, Ohio real estate market. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Ryan Dieter with Key Realty. And as always, today we're going to go through the numbers, go through the data that we have for the Columbus real estate market. So bear with me. I am actually out of town today, so I don't have my normal recording materials and cameras, but I'm in, as you can see behind me, is the woods here in North Carolina up in the mountains. So I'm enjoying a little time away from Columbus, but still wanted to get this video out to you and to anyone that's interested in buying or selling real estate in Columbus. So I'm going to share my screen as always. If you've watched the last few videos that we've posted here, this is what we typically go through. Is the Columbus Real Estate Board puts out some numbers for us as realtors to kind of review. And this is the numbers for the whole entire MLS region, for the Columbus, Ohio region. And it includes a lot of counties here. You can see this includes pretty much a good swath of the Columbus and Columbus area. So obviously the numbers for your neighborhood is going to be slightly different. And if you're interested in knowing exactly where that's at or what those look like, just let me know. Always happy to make this more tailored for you if you're curious. The Columbus board actually puts out neighborhood/school district numbers as well. I'm happy to send those to you if you'd like. But with that said, many of you, I know the kind of my recurring theme the last few videos and or even yearly update, my yearly forecast, my 2022 forecast video has been really focused on the idea that there's a listing shortage, or the narrative that there's a listing shortage, and kind of how that narrative's only really half true. And I want to talk about that more today, because we're still seeing plenty of homes actually on the market. And if you see here, we have just slightly fewer homes closed this month, this March, compared to last March. The reality is we've had more new listings this month than we did last month. So we're still seeing, new listings. And last year we had a record number of closed sales in the Columbus region since 2010. So the listing shortage, kind of narrative is a little tricky because it's not necessarily that people aren't listing their house. It's the fact that there's a listing shortage because we have so many buyers. There's so much competition out there and there's so many buyers for every listing. So that's, and Columbus is growing so quickly that the housing market's not keeping up with that. That's where the listing shortage really is. The narrative really is not kind of clear on that. It's not that there's not enough people listing houses as normal. It's a fact that there's just too many buyers, not too many. There's just so many buyers out there that there's just a lot of competition. So, and in the big narrative this month and the last, few weeks have obviously been interest rates. The Federal Reserve has, announced that they're raising interest rates. And we've seen that now the last month that they've raised it twice in the last month or so. And that's obviously impacting a lot of people's interest and mortgage rates. And so what happens with that is obviously it increases your monthly payment. Therefore you get, a higher payment for the same amount of house, for the same price of a house. So unfortunately, that's one thing buyers are really taking a hit on. But I think what's happening right now in this market is that people are kind of almost panic buying, is thinking that, well, it's raised a little bit. It's raised, it went from really about 4.5 to 5.5. So about a whole point, which is a big deal for a monthly payment. And it has hurt some buyers. But the reality is it's probably going to go up higher. And so I think a lot of buyers are doing a little bit of a panic buy right now, saying, oh, I've got to make a purchase right now before it goes up even higher, and really hurts my monthly payment, really takes me out of the takes me out of my price point range that I want to be in for the neighborhoods I'm looking at. And so buyers are kind of, I feel like they're doing a little bit of we've got to throw all of our cards on the table, do everything we can to get in a house right now. And we're seeing that as agents when it comes to making offers with people. There's, the trends of appraisal gaps and, people waiving inspections and some other things that you're, seeing go on with these offers are just, some things that, just never would have expected a year, even 2 years ago, especially, are going on right now. Some of the numbers I want to focus on here is, again, kind of going to that theme of how competitive it is right now. The days on market just shows that, we have a 25% decrease of days on market. This is compared to last year. And I'm sure you guys all, if you've paid attention to the market at all or watched any of these videos, last year's market was no slouch. We had a record year. The competition was fiercer than it's ever been prior to now. And so this just shows how competitive things are right now, how quickly things are selling, that we've dropped 25% in days on market. So things are selling. Average price point, it's about the same as last year. So we're still cruising at that 11.9%, almost 12% total for the whole region. You can actually peek here. It's a little less last year, but around 11%. So it's up just a little bit there. This is last month. Sorry. This go back to last March. Last March was 11.5. And so we're still, really close to that number. So back to this March, we're seeing, again, just all the numbers up to the right, really besides the days on market, which shows the competition. New listings up, 6.4%, which is, maybe the only good news here is that we're seeing, an uptick in, well, for buyers, that is. For sellers, this is great news. If you're looking to sell your house, it's really, there's no better time to sell a house in Columbus. There is some issues with, trying to figure out where to go and what to do if you do sell your house. But otherwise, if you have a house to sell, it's a great time to sell your house. But I would tell you, buyers right now, buyers understand that as long as, if the market's going to continue to go up, even at half of this percentage, you're still in a good position in Columbus. And with the Intel news and all these companies that are, I'm seeing all these influx of smaller companies. I say smaller, they're large companies, but smaller than the Intel, of course, deciding to come to Columbus now. And this could really, even if there is a downturn in the market, nationally, this could really hedge, Columbus from a downturn in the market if there is one. And that's a big if and at this time, because there's still, plenty of buyers out there for every house that's being sold. And in Columbus, the population's still going up. So people still need places to live. Life change still happens, because the reality is that, the market, they're obviously the numbers and the economy matters. What people have money to spend on housing matters a whole lot. But at the same time, life change also matters when it comes to real estate in the market. When, whether it's job loss, job gain, promotions, new job, population growth, all those things, really matter. People moving to Columbus, having babies, getting divorced, all these things that are life change really influence the market. And that's still going to happen with the population growth of Columbus and with the building supply in such a short supply. There's not enough builders in Columbus to continue to build. Columbus is really hedged fairly well against a downturn in the real estate market. But at the same time, the other side of the coin is that we're growing so fast when it comes to, price point and, and at some point that's, appreciation, or not saying appreciation, but if appreciation continues to go as high as it is and interest rates continue to climb, at some point there's got to be a breaking point. And that's kind of where everyone's been kind of trying to figure this out. I don't know if we're there yet. Obviously I don't have a crystal ball to predict the future, but I think Columbus is pretty steady. I don't see this, going down. If you look down here, you can kind of see the numbers here. Just, I can see it kind of flatlining a little bit, maybe versus going down. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. If you're a buyer right now looking to buy, kind of what I'm thinking is that this summer, we're going to see things start slowing down. We're going to start seeing things, maybe leveling out a little bit, a more normal growth from 3 to 5, 7%, somewhere in that range. But I've been saying this for about the last 3 years, that we're going to slow down at some point, and it's just gone up and to the right. We get new news of a new company coming here or something going on that's making Columbus even more desirable to live in. Could just, continue to see numbers at this rate. This could be the new normal, or it could stop. So anyways, I'll stop talking about that and let you digest this information. If you'd like more information, if you'd like to kind of, understand what's going on in your neighborhood of Columbus, please feel free to reach out to me. Happy to kind of go over the details with you and kind of bring you up to speed of what's going on. And also, if you're looking to sell or buy, happy to help you get the information you need to make a decision that's best for you. Thanks for tuning in again. As always, if you have any questions or would like to see anything else in these messages or videos, please feel free to reach out and let me know. Thanks again.